A very warm good morning to all of you. Dear students, once again I would like to welcome all of you to a new session of English language composition class. Today we are going to learn how to write a formal letter, the different factors related to formal letter. That's what we are going to study today. So without wasting time, let's get into the class. First of all, we will be discussing about the format, then the different elements related to the letter, and finally one example. While we deal with the format of a letter, there are 11 different points we need to remember. First one, sender's address. Second one, date. Third one, receiver's address. Fourth one, salutation. Fifth one, subject. Sixth one, opening sentence. Seventh one, first paragraph. Eighth one, second paragraph. Ninth one, concluding sentence. Tenth one is subscription, and finally sign or signature. So these are the 11 different points we need to remember while we draft a formal letter. Now let's see each of these points in detail. First one is sender's address. The person who is writing the letter, his address has to be mentioned in the beginning of a formal letter. The following things must be included when you write the address of the sender. Just writing an address doesn't mean that it will be correct, but there are certain points you need to remember while you write the sender's address. First one, house number. Second one, place. Third one, district. Fourth one, state. And fifth one, that is pin code. These 5 different informations must be there when you write the sender's address, which means when you write your address. House number, place, district, state, and finally pin code. All these informations must be written. And again, all of you keep in mind, each information must be different in independent line, or in other words, different lines. I have found people are writing in a very different way, like they will write the name of the state, then comma, pin code. No, it's not. It's a wrong style. Once if you are writing these informations, it must be written different lines. And again, name of the state, you have to write it in full form. Don't write like UP, Uttar Pradesh. Instead of Uttar Pradesh, don't write UP. Or instead of Andhra Pradesh, don't write AP. You are asked to write the full form. Okay? So, house number, place, district, state, and pin code. Each one has to be written in different lines. Again, when you write the address of the sender, there shall be no punctuations. There shall be no punctuation marks, full stop, comma, inverted comma, hyphen. There should not be such kinds of punctuation marks when you write the address. For an example, 23 bar B, San Francis Nagar, Siddharth Nagar, Uttar Pradesh 272584. See, this is a perfect address. No commas, no full stops, no such kinds of punctuation marks, but just written all the informations correctly and written in different lines, all the informations. And I hope you have got a clear idea about it. Let's move to the second point, that is date. 4 things must be kept in mind when you write the date. When you write the date, 4 points you have to remember. What are the 4 different points? First of all, date of near future. Suppose you are writing a letter today. You are not supposed to write today's date. Okay? You are asked to write a date of near future, an upcoming date. Again, the second point says no past dates. Okay, you can write any upcoming days, but you are not supposed to write past dates. Third one, first letter of the month to be capital. The name of every month must be started with an uppercase. Okay, the fourth point says comma after the month. Let's see an example. There you'll get better idea. See, 10th May 2021. Okay, 10th, TH. That is required. Then first letter of the month, it must be uppercase, or in other words, capital letter. After the name of the month, there must be comma. Okay, I hope it's very clear to you. Then again, next example, 1st May 2021, then 2nd May 2021, and 3rd May 2021. So these are the different examples. Now the third point, receiver's address. The person who receives your letter, so his address must be mentioned in formal letter. In all the formal letter, you need to mention the receiver's address. Designation must be there. Name of the magazine, newspaper or company. Third one, place. Fourth one, state. And finally, pin code. Same way how we write the address of the sender, there must be the designation. The person who receives your letter, he must be having a profession, and in that profession he will be having a post. So designation must be mentioned. Then name of the magazine. If it is to a newspaper, the name of the newspaper. If it is a magazine, then it must be a name of the magazine. If it is a company, the name of the company. If it is a profession, something like if it is, for example, police, superintendent of police. So according to that, you need to mention it. Then place, then state and pin code. For an example, in the case of designation, manager, the principal, the editor. If it is to the principal, you can write the principal, and if it is to the manager of a newspaper, what will be the designation? The manager. If it is a newspaper, the editor to whom you write. The rest of the things you can create according to the question. Okay? Now the fourth point, that is salutation. Salutation. What are the points we need to remember? Things to be kept in mind. Comma at the end. You are writing a salutation, and at the end of that salutation there must be a comma. Second point, S and M must be capital. For an example, dear sir, see, D and S both are uppercase, capital letters. Again, the next example, dear madam, D and M both are capital. Here it says S and M. S of sir and M of madam. Both these letters are uppercase, capitals. Then again, at the end of both, you can see there's a comma. Okay, so it is required and it is necessary. Okay, now let's move to the fifth point, that is subject. You are writing an informal letter for some official purpose, so of course you have to mention the subject matter of your letter. The person who is receiving your letter may not be having enough time to go through the entire content. So before he goes through the content, he just want to know what is the subject matter of your letter, for what purpose you have written the letter, and the subject will help the person to identify what kind of letter you have written. So what are the features of the subject? Must be brief, which means one single line in which you need to mention the main core or the theme of your letter. Then again, must be precise, short in size. On the left side of the margin, suppose if this is the margin, you need to start it from there. Okay, then full word to be used. For example, you are writing subject. See, for an example, subject, full word is used here. Okay, subject. Then requesting for 1 week of leave. You are working in a company and you need 1 week leave. You are writing an application to the manager. Okay, so subject, then semicolon, then requesting for 1 week of leave. Okay, so dear students, I hope you have got a very clear idea about it. But before we wind up, let's see the structure of those points which we have discussed today. See, writer's address, there comes 326 St. Francis Nagar, Siddharth Nagar, Uttar Pradesh 272207. It is writer's address. Okay. Now, after writer's address, one line space, it is needed. Remember, one line space is needed. Then there comes the date, 23rd April 2020. See, it is the date. The next one is space. After the date, again one line space is required. After the space, then the receiver's address. To whom you write the letter, his address. See, the police commissioner. Okay, police commissioner's office, Siddharth Nagar, Uttar Pradesh 272207. The receiver's address. After the receiver's address, one line space. Dear students, you might have noticed one thing. All these informations are in the straight line. It begins from the straight line. Right? Suppose just imagine if there is a margin here, you have to begin all these things soon after the margin. Don't leave space between the first letter or the first word and the margin. Okay? So, since it is a digital screen, there is no margin, but just imagine this is a white paper and you have a margin here. So, soon after the margin, you have to begin all these information. Now, the next point is salutation. See, dear sir. S is capital, then there is comma. It is salutation. After salutation again, there must be one line space. Then there comes subject. Subject, see, it's in full form. Don't write like SUB, then double dot. Okay? It must be written in its full form. Subject. Problems faced by the school due to the hawkers outside our school. See, this is a subject, very short. At the same time, the entire meaning of your letter is being reflected in this subject, in this single sentence. So the person who receives your letter will get a clear idea about what you are going to speak about. Is it a very serious matter? All those things will be very clear from the subject. So in the next class, we will be discussing the rest part of the letter. Still then, I would like to wind up. Thank you.